Good morning. Welcome back to CityLine. I am already laughing in case you saw the wide shot. With me in the studio are, I like to call the world famous Afifi Shriners. They are here to talk about just the ongoing generosity and goodness that they model and spread wherever they go. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Larry Nelson. You are the director of the world famous Afifi Shrine Clowns. Welcome.
Good morning.
And who do you have there with you?
Oh, this is Rocky.
Rocky. I see. Rocky looks like he could have been a cousin to Spike and Buffy in our first segment.
Yeah, I saw
Very nice, but Rocky's kind of silent, isn't he? Yeah, very nice. And you also go, your clown name is Poppy, is that correct?
Correct.
I love that. Your makeup is fabulous.
Thank you.
This handsome man next to you, Mr. John Brett. Welcome, John.
Good morning.
You are past potentate of the Afifi Shriners. Welcome,
Yes,
welcome. And look at the beautiful medals that you have around your tie. Outstanding. I mean, that's some serious bling.
We get decorated well.
Yes, because you deserve it. Speaking of deserving it, here we go. Mr. Rory Johnson, you are also an Afifi Shriner representative. Past potentate also, correct?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm in the officer line, but not.
We don't want to rush things, but you're also a board member at the Portland Shrine Hospital.
That's
so
correct.
Welcome as well. All right, so let's talk about this, John. Oh, wait a minute. There's someone I forgot to introduce back there because he's so quiet. This is Cuz the Clown back here. And Cuz the Clown also goes by Howard Cohn. Hello, Cuz the Clown. Hello. Good to have you back here, and good to have you back. You were with us last year.
Yes.
And you look as fabulous as always. And that is a nose to have, isn't it? Absolutely. All right, now let's talk about this. So, John, what have the Afifi Shriners been doing since you last appeared on our program?
The Shriners are basically a Masonic organization that has fun. Most of the Masonic organization is fairly staid and they're involved with different kinds of projects, but in an attempt to have fun, they formed this shrine organization. So basically what we've been doing is having a lot of fun. It's a question of whether it's parties or whether it's parades, other kinds of things. It's a fun place for Masons.
So how did they get connected?
By accident almost, in New York City back in 1873, so it's a few years back, 1873, a bunch of guys that were Masons decided to have themselves a party outside of the Masonic Lodge. And they did, and after several of these parties, they decided to make it official. So they did. And they went and they tried to make it as official as they could. One of the fellows that was part of the original group was a thespian in New York City, and he knew of a play that had gone bankrupt, and all of the costumes and the scenery were they were available. So for a minimal price, they bought all this stuff. Well, it turns out that the original play had to do with Egypt. So that's where the camels and the fez and everything else came from. I always thought it would have been interesting if it was the Pirates of Penzance or if it was Oklahoma or something like that.
Oh,
but it was this
absolutely.
play that nobody ever heard of because it went bankrupt.
Or cabaret. Now
Cabaret.
that would have been something.
Cats. There's all kinds of options. But
Oh my
there's how
gosh.
they got started. And it was a fun organization until about 1920. They decided they needed to have some more of a defining thing. And that's
Enough
what
partying.
And that's what, well, no, we
No?
still party. But the point is, it needed to have more of a good guiding light for the community. And that's where they came up with the idea for the first of the shrine hospitals.
Oh.
So it's basically a party organization, a fun organization that does a lot of things, fun, but they also have these hospitals.
Yes, you learn something new every day if you're lucky, and I did not know how you guys were connected.
We'll invite you to the next party.
What a wonderful story
Of course.
that is. So I understand, John, the Afifi Shriners just sold their 5-acre property next to the Morgan Family YMCA and TCC. Are you looking for a new location?
That's kind of peculiar because we actually have in Washington, our area is from Des Moines down to the Columbia River and from the mountain out to the ocean. So
Wow.
Southwest Washington, and we've got several hundreds of members, and it's undecided yet where we actually want to have a facility or even if we will have one, because we could just as easily go from one restaurant to another.
Yeah, absolutely you could.
Yes.
You know, that could be an Afifi Shriner, like, just like map where we kind of just follow you guys around. I think that should happen.
Yes.
So what are the requirements to become a Shriner, and why do people join Shriners besides just loving fun, John?
Most of the Masonic system by itself is fairly staid, like I said. And if people wanted to get involved with dances, parties, parades, all kinds of things that are more of a fun side of things, that's one of the excellent reasons a person would get involved with a shrine. Obviously, supporting the hospitals is another idea, but the point is that it was originally intended as a place to have fun, and I'd like to think we do.
I think you do. You have been a huge fixture in Tacoma for quite some time, and you supported Tacoma community, and you always have. So what are you planning for this spring?
A lot of parades.
There we go.
In Southwest Washington, not counting the rest of the state, but in Southwest Washington, there's probably 100 or 150 parades. I never had a chance to count them all. I have no idea. But we are very, very active and big in several of the parades in Southwest Washington, about 15 of them. And the first of them that starts off the year is the Daffodil Parade.
Yes, boy.
Yes.
It's never spring without the Daffodil Parade.
No.
Absolutely. And then will you be in the Junior Daffodil Parade as well?
Yes, we will, and also the yacht clubs.
Oh, the
Daffodil
regatta.
Parade.
Yes,
Yes.
the Marine Regatta.
Yeah, so there's actually 6 daffodil parades when you get down to that, and we're involved with all of them.
Boy.
People think of 4 of them down here because of town.
Yes.
But practically speaking, there's also the children's and there's also the Marine Parade.
And here's some great shots we have of you guys. I was going to say, and you got to have great shoes, and oh, look at this. How playing instruments. You didn't tell
Yes.
me I had to be musical.
There's all kinds of things we get involved with. That's one of the bands there, yes.
I love that. So Rory, sitting there so silent but so elegant. I understand that currently many children from Tacoma and Southwest Washington areas are patients at the Portland Shrine Hospital and other shrine hospitals. Is that correct?
Yes.
So how does a child in need become a shrine patient?
The Shriners Hospital in Portland had over 13,000 patient visits in 2017.
My goodness.
And of those, about 2,300 were from Washington State. And becoming a patient at Shriners Hospital is really quite easy. You call the main number at the Portland Hospital, and that number is 503-241-5090. You would tell the person what you're calling about, and they would discuss your child's condition with you. And since we are a hospital that specializes in pediatric orthopedic care, cleft lip and palate, and burn scar revision, they would then determine whether the child's condition can be treated at the Portland Hospital. And if it is a condition that we treat, then they would make an appointment for your child.
Oh, it just sounds easy, effortless, and full of grace, just like the 4 of you on here.
Excuse me, sometimes that doesn't take but 10 minutes.
That is amazing.
If a kid has an accident today, now, they may wind up being in one of the Shrine hospitals by lunchtime or by dinner time tonight.
Impressive,
Yes.
impressive. So how are the demographics changing of your members, John?
It used to be very large. Like many fraternal organizations here in the last several years, we've gotten smaller and smaller. It's difficult, though, to put a finger on a couple of numbers. But practically speaking, we're getting younger. The people that are joining are younger than I am.
Yes.
Thank God. So it is getting a bit younger. It is also throughout Southwest Washington. We've got members that live up in Des Moines and over in Auburn and out at Grays Harbor and down on Long Beach, down in Vancouver. There's members all over Southwest Washington.
Yes. Speaking of that, in this last 2 minutes, I want to ask you about how we become a world famous Afifi Shrine clown. But I also want to find out from you, Mr. John, how much does it cost to run your 22 facilities?
That's depends. There's a whole lot of it depends, but you're looking at about $3 million a day.
Wow. So get out there and donate money.
Yes.
Join these parties, join these fundraisers, because
Yes.
it all goes to the children. All right, so if I've had this yearning to become a clown, how do I become a clown, Mr. Larry?
Well, first of all, you have to be a Shriner.
There we go.
You've got to do that. But then it's just, hey, I want to be a clown. You would come to me or to the guys and say, hey, I would like to join your unit.
Are there women clowns?
No, there aren't any
right.
women in the shrine.
Not yet. There
Now,
we go.
There is an auxiliary group, you know,
Of
that
women.
the women
Yes.
belong to.
But
within the clowns, no, it's all men.
all men. Okay. All right.
So-
and here you guys are at your
There,
best.
there we are
Yes.
at the Daffodil, and of course Flips was here last year as
Yes.
well as I was. But we all have our various little toys that we drive at the parade. That no specific one,
Oh my gosh.
and but you simply ask, and then once you're in the unit, then we take care of all the specific training of what you have to do to put on your makeup.
I love that.
And decide what your clown identity is going to be. I'm Poppy.
There's Cuz back there.
Cuz.
Cuz, show us with your hands how many years you've been doing this. Because you're not mic'd, so we won't be able to hear you. Is it 10, 20?
10.
Oh, 17.
Yes.
17 years you've been clowning
I
around.
started on the East Coast,
Oh.
Philadelphia.
There we go. So there we go. So we have transplant clowns here.
yes, yes.
I love that. And do they have like clown conventions? Do you guys all get together?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the big question: how many clowns can fit in a Volkswagen?
I like this question.
Well, if they're like me, 4.
Okay. There we go. I love that.
But cuz we could probably put 15 in there.
There we
so-
go. Okay, so when you come back next time, I'm going to want to see footage of that on the parade. Okay. I want to say thank you to all 4 of you for being here today and
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
all of the beautiful things that you do for our region, for us nationally and inspirational globally, the children that you take care of and the families whose hearts that you ease and heal, and for the fun you have, because you put the fun back into fundraising, and
Yes.
that's what you do. So thank you so much, and don't be strangers, but you can be strange, especially you, Poppy and Cuz. And I want to see you back here next year, okay? Deal?
Deal.
Deal.
Thank
That's
you.
a deal.
Thank you.
you.
Well, that wraps up another great segment of CityLine. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to be in your home. We've given you a lot of great things to think about in this past hour. So please go out there, be a part of this great tapestry, and above all, pay it forward. And when you come back, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here at CityLine. Take care.